Depends, sometimes nothing happens all the time. But when something happens.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvāmanusandadhāmi Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini Yam Brahma Varunendra Ruddhamarutaha Stunvanti Divyaistavaihi Vedai Sangapadakramopanishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagaha Dhyanavastita tatkatena manasa Pashyanti yam yoginaha Yasyantam na vidussura suraganaha Devaya tasmai namaha Devaya tasmai namaha. So, let's do 5 verses, starting with number 37 of the 4th chapter. Yathaidhamsi samidhognihi Yathaidhamsi samidhognihi Bhasmasat kuruterjuna Bhasmasat kuruterjuna Jnanagni sarvakarmani Jnanagni sarvakarmani Bhasmasat kurute tatha Nahi jnanena sadrisham Nahi jnanena sadrisham Pavitram iha vidyate Iha vidyate Tatsvayam yoga samsiddhaha Tatsvayam yoga samsiddhaha Kalenatmani vindati Shraddhavan labhate jnanam Shraddhavan labhate jnanam Tatparah samyatendriyaha Tatparah samyatendriyaha Jnanam labdhva param shantim Jnanam labdhva param shantim Achirena dhigacchati Agyaschak shraddhanascha Agyaschak shraddhanascha Samshayatma vinashyati Samshayatma vinashyati Nayam lokostina paraha Nayam lokostina paraha Nasukham samshayatmanaha Samshayatmanaha Yoga samyasya Yoga sanyastakarmanam Yoga samyastakarman Jnana sanchinna samshayam Jnana sanchinna samshayam Atmavantam na karmani Atmavantam na karmani Nibadhnanti dhananjaya. So last week we finished the verse number 4. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninah tattvadarshinaha. So a summary of that verse was, and it will again be repeated in terms of the understanding on number 38, which we may not get to today. Nahi yanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate. So, in any case, the starting of that was that if there's a lot of activities in our life that are very beneficial to us and we should pursue it. You know, so for example, as we have discussed it before also, anything that improves your attitude is a very beneficial activity. You can do some normal activity like maintenance of your own body and your house and your family. All of that is necessary. But in and through that, the most important thing we can do is to improve our attitudes of looking at things. And why is that? Because the sukshma sharira, attitude means sukshma sharira, our thinking, our mind, and so on, is yours to keep in lives to go. Your bank balance is left behind. You have to start all over again. Your body, whether you are, male or female, is left behind. All of that is left behind. But your sukshma sharira is yours to keep. And so it is important for you to obviously pay attention to something which is yours. The other ones you can use, like a car. So the body is like a car. You use it for a while and then to take you from place to place. But really the antakarana shuddhi is the one that you get to keep. And supposing you are saying, I'm not concerned about the next life. I am just concerned about this life. Which is true. You should be concerned about this life. There also, the antakarana shuddhi is important for you to gain complete freedom. You cannot do that without it. As Swami Dayanand used to say that you cannot say that I want total love, but for the time being I don't like a lot of people around me. I hate them. It doesn't work that way. It's like saying, I love humanity, but I hate people. It doesn't work that way. So we have to slowly improve our attitudes towards things. And the improvement of attitudes towards the things through my karma culminates in an attitude towards myself through my own self-introspection, which is jnana yajna. So what I'm saying is that previously all of these other ones were karma yajna, as you know. I'm just revising. Karma yajna, also called dravya yajna. So these were all how by doing more puja, by being regular in your dhanam and your charitable work, all of that is called dravya yajna, which improves your attitude. No doubt about it. Out of those, the most important yajna you can do is jnana yajna. That means I want to go to the bottom of, I don't want to do a surface analysis of my life. I want to go into the very fundamental aspect of my life. What is going on? Who am I? What is my relationship to God? How can I also improve my understanding of the world around me? That kind of a thing. As I mentioned to you, that mumukshuhu, when you turn into a jigyasu. And the fundamental aspect of that is to move from a symptomatic analysis into analysis of the disease. So the Jnana Yajna is really the study of the disease, not symptoms. So this is what it was pointed out in number 34. And there we saw that there is something unique about Jnana Yajna. And that is that Dravya Yajna you can do yourself. But Jnana Yajna, you need someone else to tell you what it is. You cannot figure it out yourself. There are lots of reasons for that. We can go into that some other time. That being the case, there is a certain process involved in gaining this knowledge with the help of someone else. So that was what was pointed out. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninah tattvadarshinaha. So we saw all of that. So that being the case, now Lord Krishna moves from the glorification of the knowledge, the stuti of Jnana Yajna, which was given in verse number 34. And now in the next few verses, starting with 35, he extols the benefits of gaining the knowledge. The benefits of gaining the knowledge. So let's look into that. So there, well, in fact, let me go into the word analysis first, and then we'll. So in number 35, which we studied last time, yat jnatva na punarmoham evam yasyasi pandava yena bhutani asheshena drakshasya atmanyatho mayi. So this is the first one. Then we'll look at the other one. So now a listing of the benefits of gaining this knowledge is being given. So let's look at the word meaning on this. Jnatva, after gaining that knowledge, na yasyasi, you will not get into moham evam, some confusion, some delusion in this manner. Punaha, once again, he Pandava, yena drakshasi bhutani asheshena mai atho atmani. You will see all beings without exception in me as well as in yourself. So just the full sentence. After gaining that knowledge, you will not get into delusion in this manner once again. O Arjuna, by that knowledge you will see all beings without exception in me as well as in yourself. So in this verse, two advantages are given. Okay, let's look at that. Two advantages. One is the destruction of moha. Destruction of moha. So here in the explanation of, because the word moha has a wide set of meanings, but here let's just look at the one thing that is being pointed out, which means conflicts in one's life. Conflicts. And so here the interesting thing is that Arjuna, is important to see the setup here. Arjuna's character and the whole story is very carefully drafted. Arjuna is a very intelligent person. He is a very well accomplished person, a leader who doesn't do, he is no given to any bad thinking of any kind. He's an exceptional person. Now, what that means is he was very clear about what should be done. That dharma has to be upheld. Adharma has, criminal activities has to be quelled. He's not very clear about it. And yet he now has a conflict. And conflict is because of his respect and attachments towards the teachers who taught him everything in life. Bhishma, Drona. And the conflict comes about because the Kauravas are clearly bad people, and he needs to vanquish them. That is clear. There's no moha in his life about that. It's not as though you have some people who are attacking your house and you say, come, it's okay. No. If there are some bad people, you have to kill them if you need to, or just make sure that you don't come under their spell. That part is clear. But here is something that comes about in his life. He finds, as he's ready to fight the Kauravas, that the 2 or 3 people that he has respected all his life are on the other side. They are with the Kauravas. And he starts to think, am I doing the right thing? I'm killing them. And even though this is a war is worth fighting, but is it really? Because everybody will be killed. And, all the men will be killed. The women will be all by themselves. How is it going to, what is life? This is called moha. So our acharyas all say that in our life also, we're not sure about many things. Should I do this? Should I do that? Should I marry? Should I not marry? Swami Paramarthananda had a funny line on that. He says, marriage is not a word, it is a sentence. Can you believe that? It's a beautiful thing. It means it is a sentence, means it's a sentence in your life. You're sentenced to a limited life. You give up your freedom. You cannot just do anything. You cannot go to. My younger son is still not married, so his life is very funny. He can go to the Raiders game. He can go with friends and so on. And his cousin just got married, and now he is now bound to staying. And so the question is, should I get married or not marry? Should I do this or not? Should I take this job? And you're not sure of it. So there are some conflicts in your life. So the first benefit of Jnana Yajna, you will be free of conflicts in your life. What does it mean? What it means is that things will not frighten you. Should I be doing this? Should I not be doing this? Why? Because you have now discovered the value of Ishvara, who is supporting you. You are not at the mercy of pure chance. You know there is an order. You know that things are happening because of a reason. And you need to act out without worrying about the results. And it was interesting, my younger granddaughter, In fact, just now, her exam started at 9 o'clock, so she's giving an exam from 9 to 11 for admission into the 6th grade in schools, so it's private schools, whatever it is. So there's some kind of an exam for that. I didn't realize it. So there is a 2.5-hour exam. And so I picked her up from school yesterday. That was my duty. My daughter-in-law was busy doing something else, so I picked her up. And I found her to be very distracted, worried about today's exam. And on the top of that, she was doing okay, but her hunger was gone. She would not eat anything. We took her home to give her dinner. And she's now worried. So I had, and you can only dialogue with young kids up to a point. So I said, I gave her some examples, which are real examples. I said, I remember I was working at IBM a long time ago in 60s. And we were practicing to give public talks. And as it used to happen, whenever you're giving, you're talking to 4 or 5 people, you feel very normal. As soon as you have 100 or 200 people who are looking at you, your whole manner changes, because now you become more nervous, you have to give a talk, and so on and so forth. There was a speaker who came in. He made a major difference in my life, major difference. And he was talking about public speaking. He said, here's what happens. When you are getting ready for public speaking, you become a little bit nervous. And you clam up. Sometimes you can even have sweats on your brow. And you're not sure. And one thing leads to the other, and you're not able to give your full attention to a good talk. Why? Because you are worried. And he said, the way to do that is that public speaking requires you to not be casual, to be well prepared, to really do a formal analysis. And he says the body actually has to prepare you for that, because this is not a normal thing. So the nervousness is a very beautiful thing, because you're not just you have to make up, you have to structure your talks and so on. But he says what happens is that you become a little bit nervous. Now you dislike the nervousness, so you get even more nervous, and it just starts to snowball. He says that's not necessary, not necessary. And so what you should do is to say that normal nervousness is very healthy. And then you just do the best you can, and of course you have to be prepared. If you're not prepared, then you don't deserve to talk. But if you're well prepared, the normal nervousness is just to get you up and going. I tell you, that made such a difference in my way. So my granddaughter, I was just telling her this story. And not that she would completely understand, but I was saying, that a little bit of anxiousness is okay. But really speaking, you will do more damage to your preparedness if you keep thinking that you are afraid of the knowledge. You have already prepared, you have done a lot of tests and so on. Just do it without any issue. I don't know, we'll find out how she does today, but this is really the message of the Bhagavad Gita. Just look at this. And so, karmani eva adhikaraste na ma phaleshu kadachana. So this is an important verse that we did, and we can very quickly revise it. What it means is, it doesn't mean that you don't think about achieving results. That's not what is being taught. You have to expect people to listen to you and so on. But what it's saying is, do not waste your energy worrying about results, because that will diminish your effectiveness in doing the work. Just because we have limited emotional energy, Put that all into doing a good job. And let someone else determine whether it will be successful or not, which is Ishvara. So similarly here also, the first advantage of Jnana Yajna is that your sense of conflict will diminish. That means your attitude in life will be, it's not as though you don't want to prepare for the right thing, but whatever happens, happens. I am ready to face my life. This is the first advantage. Punarmoham na punarmoham. That this conflict which you are used to, I understand that, but having understood the very knowledge of what is going on, you're not going to spend a lot of your time just thinking about what is going to be. Just do your job. So this is what is called. So here the lesson that Krishna is saying, that it is natural for you to pause to understand that some of your teachers are on the bad side. But they imagine that if you let that weakness determine your action, your life will be ruined. So I am responsible for putting Bhishma and Drona on the Kauravas side. Whatever happens, happens. You do your job. Don't worry about what happens. If you have to kill them, kill them. Because your responsibility is much broader. So trust in me. And so this is the knowledge that Gita gives. That you lead your life not as an isolated person. Think that there is actually a great support of Ishvara behind you. Do the right thing and just let the chips fall where they may. So this is the first advantage of the Jnana Yajna. The second one is the second line. Yena bhutani asheshena drakshasya atmani athamai. This is a very important one. And that is that at this moment, you look upon the world, the people that constitute the world, as totally different from you. You are this much, somebody else is that, and so you do not see the commonality between people and you. One advantage, another advantage of this Jnana Yajna is the understanding that the very core of who you are is the same as the core of everybody else. You will start to focus on the commonality between you and others rather than the differences between you and the others. And in fact, this is the funny part, that our differences are very minor. Somebody looks like this, somebody is white, somebody is black, somebody is this, very minor. But not only the surface things, if you just analyze what is even the body of the human being, we all have a heart. Our bloods are very similar. Our ability, our thinking, they may have some differences, but we all want to have the same thing. We all want non-violence to me. And not only that, the core of everybody is the Paramatma. So when you say I, that I should reflect not what your manifestation is, but yourself. And by knowing this, you will see that the same I, this is a very funny stuff, really. I was telling you, I think I may have been in this class or some other class, there's a knock on the door. And you say, who is it? And the person says, it's me, I. And you say, you cannot be an I because I am right here. You cannot say I, you must be saying somebody else. So the person says, no. So everybody says I. And I is the same consciousness. And so what is obstructing me from understanding is my undue focus on the differences. You know, this is what happens. So for example, supposing we're sitting in the class and we're all, you know, I'm talking, you're listening, we're all different from each other. God forbid there is a huge earthquake right at this moment. Then what will happen is our commonality will come immediately to the surface. And we will say, oh, let's just get out, all of us. And if somebody is having some problems, you'll say, come, I'll help you. And so we all go, you know. Not only that, supposing there is a fire, even worse than an earthquake, where you have a sudden fire. And if there are some animals, now you also take them along with you. And say, come. You cannot just perish in the fire. So you are now concerned about the prana of everybody. And so the differences between genders, between colors, are transactional. And there are some cases you may have to observe the differences. But really speaking, many of the conflicts we have in our lives are very superficial. And Krishna says, another advantage, very big advantage, of jnana yajna, by understanding this, is you will smile at the commonalities. And not only smile at the commonalities, you will wonder at the sameness, not even similarity. It's the same. Graduate to that. Make that as your goal. And you will begin, this is the enormous advantage of the jnana yajna, that it will be revealed to you because we are focused on the differences because no one has revealed the similarity to us at this point. But if it is revealed, which is a fact but has not been revealed, if it is revealed to us, it would influence your life in an amazing manner. So this is the second benefit of the jnana yajna. Okay? So we can finish it off by saying, Yat jnatva na punar moham evam yasyasi pandava. Hey Pandava, evam yasyasi, you will not enter into a life of complete conflict. They will be highly muted. Yes, you may have some arguments with people and so on and so forth. That may be necessary as part of your life. But the very fundamental attitude that you have of what's going to happen to me, what should I do, who's helping me, who's in charge, all of that will disappear. And so, yat gyatva na punarmoham evam yasasi pandava. Then the second one is yena bhutani asheshena drakshasya atmani athamai. Atha atmani and bhutani asheshena, you will see me, the Paramatma, in yourself as well as in others. I am there in every place. We may not be able to see it right away, but we are on our way to looking at the very fundamental aspect of everyone. So that's the second one. Then, let's go to number 36, which we also chanted last time. Api chet asi papebhyah sarvebhyah papa krittamaha sarvam jnana plavena eva vrijinam samtarishyasi. So now on advantage number 3, benefit number 3 is being given, and this involves dukkha, pain, suffering. So this is based on the particular aspect of what is called papaha. So papaha here is the cause of dukkha. The reason for the pain are wrong actions in the past. We may not be able to associate it with it. We may question it. Why is this happening to me? But the fact of the matter is nothing good or bad happens without my previous karma. There's no arbitrariness in this, in the whole creation. Even though I like to blame others, not myself, it is neither blaming yourself nor blaming anyone else. It's a fact that, really speaking, the action and reaction are clearly balanced. So here, he is focusing on bad actions in the past that have created a dukkha in me. The good actions in the past and its limitations will be given in the next one, number 37. But here he's looking at the partial one, which is unfortunate actions that are giving me pain and suffering. So that's what he says. He says, api chedasi papebhyah sarvebhyah papa krittamaha sarvam jnana plavena eva vrijinam samtarishyasi. So let's look at the word meaning. So api chet means even if. Asi, you are pap krittamaha. You have created a lot of bad things for yourself and for others. The worst, you are one of the worst sinners. Sarvebhyah papebhyah, out of all the bad actions, even in that case, samtarishyasi sarvam vrijinam jnana plavena eva, means that even there, the ocean of problems that you are immersed in you will be able to cross with the help of the boat of knowledge. So these are the words. So what it means is that essentially we have different kinds of actions that we have done in the past. Okay? So we have done both good and bad actions. And the number of actions that we have done in the past, the number of lives we have had in the past, the number of manifestations that we have had in the past is infinite. Infinite. And what happens in those cases is that those actions that are manifesting in this life are chosen from the storehouse of my previous stored actions, which is called sanchita karma. Sanchita karma means the karmas that have been stored in my own account in the past. Some of them, obviously not every one of them could be can manifest at the same time. Some of them are chosen so that I can live the results of those karmas in this life. So this is what is called prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma means these are karmas that have already well begun, and there is nothing I can do about it. So that means the choice of the parents, choice of country, choice of the body, choice of DNA, all of those kinds of things have constituted together to give me my present form. And not only that, how long I'm going to live, whether my life will be healthy or not, whether I will be happy or not, and all of that. And if in this particular instance we are talking about bad karmas, papa karmas, how long will I be unhappy? All of that is something that I have to deal with in my life. Despite that, if I have the knowledge that this is not real, I can cross even the worst results of my worst problems. And you're given a sample of that. Supposing you say, that doesn't sound plausible. You know, how can you say this? Because if there's, first of all, none of us want to believe that our present problems are due to my previous actions. We want to buy that. It doesn't seem like it's logical. Well, it is logical. In fact, when you think about it, that is the most logical thing. Otherwise, there are no discontinuities. Otherwise, there will be discontinuities. That you have a child born with a severe problem, another child born with a lovely family and lots of money and good health and so on and so forth. Is this arbitrary? And it is not. It's all a continuation of the previous to the future life and so on. And so first of all, we don't want to believe that. Secondly, we don't think it's logical that given that I am having a lot of problems in my life, that I can get out of it just by knowing myself. How is that possible? Don't I have to live through all of this? And Krishna says, no, it is possible. It is very much like waking up from your dream, and all of your actions in the dream are falsified. As long as you are in the dream, you cannot falsify it. But if there are ways of waking up from it, you can falsify it. And in fact, this is what I'm saying, that even though I might doubt it, that, how am I going to get rid of, if I have created some bad problems and so on, Ishvara has given us a great example to understand that it is possible, which is deep sleep. We should be able to see it. Deep sleep is a great example where the worst problems that I have do not affect me. And so, I still think about it, that supposing you have a person who has done the worst possible thing, which is to murder another human being. I mean, that's the worst thing that one can think of. And, it's interesting that Swamiji used to discuss this. He said, I used to really think that I don't understand how societies can have non-vegetarian. Can't you think you're killing a... Then he said, I'm realizing, when he came to the West, how easy it is for you to insulate yourself away from the killing. Why? Because supposing the only chicken that you eat are the ones that are growing in your backyard. So supposing you're living in a farm and the kids are growing up and you have these little chickens and they all have distinction and they all do cuckoo in the morning to wake you up and you're very close to them and so on. And then your parents say, this we're going to kill today for our dinner. How will the child say, which one? Not one of ours. He says, yes. Well, this one, number 2. This one, this is our food for tonight. The child is going to say, no way. You're not going to do that. But he says, now you look, he says, I'm realizing that it's really not the fault of the child. Because you go to Safeway and there are chicken breasts nicely packaged as though they're biscuits, cookies. How is the child, you cannot visualize that this was a live chicken. And so you cannot really understand that. In the same way, it's very interesting. Swamiji used to say that there are people who explode a bomb that kill 1,000 people. In fact, it was interesting that right after the 9/11, we had a meeting in Saylorsburg where I was supposed to attend, and I did attend it. And there were a number of people. And this was so fresh, you could almost see the World Trade Center, not literally from where we were, but just in a few miles. And this was a very big thing. And people were in shock. And Swamiji was discussing this whole thing as to how it came about. So the point is that it is easier to plant a bomb to kill 1,000 people than to kill a single person by shooting him in front of you. Because there, it's like a chicken that you see right in front of you. And so that's a worse thing. Whereas here, you're oblivious of all the direct connection between people. You just put a bomb in there. Anyway, I'm just giving you that example. But I sometimes wonder how a person who has killed a human being, you can imagine, can go to sleep that night and not be connected with any of it. What a wonder. What a wonder. So that is what is being pointed out here. Look at this. Api chedasi papebhyah sarvebhyah papakrittamaha sarvam jnana plavena eva vrijinam samtarishyasi. Just imagine the glory, the advantage of this. Your entire life, which may be full of dukkha, if you are able to see the very mithyatvam of it, chances are that you will not be able to see it because your mind and your attitudes are in such a way that you are far away from it. That's a different thing. But it is possible. It's possible. It may not be probable. That's another thing. But at least it's possible. And in fact, if you just, change overnight and just say, I'm so sorry, what happened to me? I didn't know this. Then your recovery can be very fast, very fast. But all it depends upon is your shraddha towards what's going on. This is the jnana yajna. The jnana yajna is not easy. Probably the person will not do jnana yajna. He'll just do dravya yajna. But if you were to do jnana yajna, the advantages of this are amazing. And so here one comment on this verse called Sarvebhyaha. In fact, I think I think I'll make that comment in the next one. In the next one. Okay? One comment on this is that it's possible to say sorry, which is what called prayaschita karma. Prayaschita karma means saying sorry. It is possible to negate the effects of previous bad karmas by doing something opposite to that. It's called prayaschita karma, of one kind or the other. It is possible. But none of the prayaschita karma will be as effective as jnana yajna. And that thing will be nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate. This will be summarized again. But this is the glory of the jnana yajna. Why? Because it negates it. Like waking up from a dream. It's gone. And I remember Swamiji Dayanandji explaining this. He said, sometimes supposing you are having a dream where you murder somebody. You really just hate someone and you say, I'm just going to kill you. And you kill that person in the dream. And everybody says, oh my God, what have you done? We're going to have to punish you. You say, yeah, punish me, whatever it is. So they make arrangements to hang you. And you're watching this whole thing. They're hanging, they're preparing the noose and so on and so forth. You're watching all of this. And then they're putting the noose around your head. And you say, oh my God, I'm going to die pretty soon. And then it starts to choke you. As it chokes you, you wake up. Now, where is the noose? Where is the murder? The whole thing is gone. And you have a smile on your face. It says, oh my God, wow. So something similarly here will also happen, where your appreciation of yourself and the anatma, the mithyatvam of it, will be in such a manner that you are no longer regulated by the reality of the thing. You're completely different from it. And a sample of that is given to you in deep sleep. So this is the third advantage. So the first advantage, if you want to make a list of that, is mohanasha. Mohanasha. The second advantage is that bhuta let me see if I can summarize that with some second word. So I don't know if I can have a single word. It means, so you can say sarvatmanina, sarvatmani vidya. That my Atman is also everybody else's Atman. This is the second, there could be a better way to have a single word, but anyway. The third one is sarva papanasha. Sarva papanasha. Not some of them, but the whole thing. It's not like saying, okay, I think I've got most of my problems solved, some are still left. No, because as we saw, when you wake up from the dream, nothing about the dream is left. It's all gone, completely washed away. That's the third one. Then, what we chanted today, number 37, Yatha edhamsi samiddha agnihi bhasmasat kurute arjuna jnana agni sarva karmani bhasmasat kurute tatha. So here, if you want to just write down the fourth, let's see, how many have we done? 1, 3, so, right? Fourth one is called Sarva Karmanasha. Not Sarva Papanasha, but Sarva Karmanasha. And we'll go into this more detail for next 5 or 10 minutes. But the reason why it is called, so the implication of Sarva Kamanasha, Sarva Karmanasha is that what is left in the Sarva Karma, which is or not Papa, is Punya Karma. Punya Karma. Punya Karma is also destroyed. This is a very interesting thing. I don't want the Punya Karma to be destroyed. I only want Papakasha to be, I want more Punya. No. You want Punya Karma also to be destroyed. Why? What's the problem with Punya Karma? The problem with Punya Karma is it gives you experiential joy that you want to continue. The falseness of joy is maintained with Punya Karma. It's like, supposing you ask someone to come and join this class, and the person is having a lot of problems. If he's having lots of problems, they won't come. If they're having some problems, they'll say, oh, really? Interesting, I want to come. Supposing they are at a party where they're having lots of fun, drinking, eating, jokes, this, that, or the other, and you tell them, by the way, there's a Vedanta class, are they going to even listen to you? No. They'll say, well, some other time. I don't know what it means. Let me just have fun. This is called punya karma phalam. They're having fun because of the previous punya karma. But in enjoying the phalam of punya karma, they are still postponing the inevitable. And so, our prayer should be to Ishvara, not only to remove my papa karma, but even punya karma. Because, why? Because as long as the phalam of the punya karma continues, I live in a make-believe world. And it is okay for you to live in a make-believe world for a while. But you better wake up. It's like having a very pleasant dream. Hey, I'm very happy with my dream. Don't disturb me. Hey, it's still a dream. And so this is what is called sarva karma nasha, not papa karma nasha alone. Swami Dhananand used to say that. In fact, the acharyas all say that. He says, when you're handcuffed, usually the handcuffs have been used many times before, so they get rusted. And you look at handcuffs, and these are rusted handcuffs, and he says, my God, this is going to be terrible. Why am I doing? And another person is given golden handcuffs with diamond entrusted handcuffs. And you say, I wish I had your handcuffs, but both are handcuffs. It'd be better not to have a handcuff. Only if you're handcuffed, then you realize it. I don't know how, if they want to go to the bathroom, what happens? Supposing they want to urinate. I have no idea. Do they take them off and then they have guns, in the bathroom? I have no idea how they do that. Having handcuffs is not pleasant. Whether it is golden handcuffs or rusted home handcuffs. So this is what is called sarva karma nasha. So here, one very interesting thing is given here. So let's just look at the word meaning first, and then I will finish it off. Hey Arjuna, number 37, Jnana Agni, the fire of knowledge, reduces all karmas to ashes. Bhasmasat kurute. Tatha, just as yatha samidtha agni kurute edhamsi bhasmasat. A well-kindled fire reduces the fuel to ashes. So a very important thing is being given here, which is a fire needs to be powerful to reduce the fuel to ashes. A minor fire can light up things, but it cannot destroy the wood. Like supposing you have a wet wood, and you put some fire on it, and it has a small flame. All the flame can do, because the fire has two basic elements. One is light, and the other one is heat. So the light will be lighted, but the heat will not be there. And the wood is, and so in a way, we are like a log of wood which is partially dry and partially wet. And we are trying to light it so that my body and mind, which is the log of wood, is destroyed so that I become a formless Atma. Not become, I am already a formless Atma. But my propensity to be associated with the body and mind is like a wet wood. So what is being pointed out here is, Yatha edhamsi samitha agni. Samitha agni means one which has been well lighted. Well lighted. If you just do a little bit of a flame, so the advantages are not the advantages, but the example is that if you study Vedanta casually, it is like fire which is not capable of destroying your ignorance. It might give you some light into what needs to be done. But really speaking, it is unable to destroy sarva karma. Your sarva karmas, Swami Dayanand used to say that it is kind of like a wet wood. A wet wood is incapable of being so well lighted that it destroys itself. And so a lot of the attitudinal issues that we have in our life is to dry my own wood, so to speak. But if it is done in a proper manner, first of all, the wood is dry, and then you don't just put a little match and do it. You have to make sure that you immerse yourself in well-lighted fire. That's the advantage. That's the example given here. Yatha edhamsi samiddha agni bhasmasat kurute Arjuna. So here, Swami Paramarthananda also says, all the people say that really what is required is not just a casual introduction to Vedanta, but a complete understanding, removing our doubts, persisting in it, having the Shraddha, questioning, all of that. Then, what we saw in number 4, Upadekshanti tat jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. Then the teaching awakes in your mind. And so it means that just in a brief introduction and so on and so forth, it's not going to do it. It's not like, sometimes you try to light something and it doesn't light, you say, forget it. I'm not doing that. That means the wood has overtaken the fire. But if the fire has to overtake the wood, it has to be some steady, persistent, dedicated understanding of how this happens. So that is the 4th advantage. And the 4th advantage is that if you do that, then all of your karmas, so as you know very well, this is all the introductory Tattva Bodha. So you have the Sanchita karma, then you have the Prarabdha karma, and then you have the Agami karma, the ones that are going to come. All of them are destroyed. So here one can question, okay, I can see the Sanchita karma. So the example of the Sanchita karma is that if you have, for example, like supposing you have some seeded nut or some dal, something, has seeds in it. Like for example, you do sprouted, when you make a sprout of some dal. So what happens is that you can eat the dal, or you can put it back in the water and sprout it, and it creates new seed. But supposing you heat it enough, it destroys its seediness. So the sanchita karma are destroyed by the jnana agni. It cannot give you more lives anymore. So sanchita karmas are gone. Then prarabdha karma is an important one. So the prarabdha karma is both destroyed as well as not destroyed. So I'll end with an explanation of what that means. It's an important explanation. So what they say is prarabdha karma means your bodily problems, etc., all of those. So what happens is that your identification with it lessens. The prarabdha karma will be still going on. Here Swami Maheshananji gives a very beautiful example. He said, the difference between an ajnani means one who has not understood, has not studied Vedanta, has not analyzed it, has not dedicated, and that's an ajnani. Between an ajnani and a jnani, it may not be a full jnani yet, but a jnani means a knowledgeable person and so on, is this. An ajnani, when something untoward happens to you, like in your life also, supposing someone severely criticizes you. Okay, somebody gives you forget about the physical hurt, let the mental hurt. An ajnani, we will take the hurt of the insult very personally. Why? Because the condition of the mind is imposed on yourself. You are not able to distinguish between the condition of the mind and yourself. So you feel, I'm insulted. Supposing somebody says, especially this is what happens where spouses are so powerful because they know you very well. So they'll say, you can't even do this. It's so ridiculous. You're expected to do this. So it's some kind of an insult or some severe criticism, not just that. And ajnani will react to it. What do you mean I should do this? You should be doing this. And who are you to criticize me? Because it is unacceptable for me to be put down in any manner. This is the ajnani. Now let's take the advantage of a jnani. The jnani has a spouse, and the spouse says, same thing. Why you should do that, and so on and so forth. You know what will happen to the jnani? The jnani will say, oh, really? You think so? Internally he's saying, my mind, this is what is happening in my mind. I'm not happening to me. Even though it appears to be happening to me, but I am different. Your reaction will be totally different. Without insulting the other person, you will absorb it and you'll say, I didn't realize that I was doing this. I'm very sorry. Internally, you'll say, I'm okay. See, I tell you, one of the things that happens in our life is really many of our experiences are due to the problems of the other person. But we think of it as our problem. So if someone criticizes you unnecessarily, the jnani thinks, this is the way that person is. Let him behave that way. What am I supposed to do with it? It's okay. On the surface, you may apologize and say, I'm very sorry, I shouldn't have done that. Deep inside, you understand the value of what you are, and you forgive the other person. And all this comes about by having a distinction between the mind and yourself. If that distinction is lost, then whatever happens to the mind happens to you. So anyway, I'm sorry I've taken more time, but the reason that the prarabdha karma is destroyed, because there can be a doubt. You can say the sanchita karma has not yet fructified, so that I understand. Agami karma, forget about what is going to happen. But the daily prarabdha karma, how am I going to be insulated from that? This is how you're insulated from it. You do not have this intricate abhimana towards affected by the prarabdha karma. Let the prarabdha karma continue. Really speaking, our problems in prarabdha karma are mostly mental. There's few of us that have some physical problems, I agree with that. But really most of us are at the mercy of the world. We want to be perceived as very wise, wonderful people, and other people criticize us, and that is not acceptable to me. And so that creates a lot of problems in my life. And so by doing this, you are able to insulate. It's kind of like, you can walk over into all these thorny fields by having a shoe. It's not as though you're not going into the thorny fields, but now you're insulated from it. You're not afraid of it. And why? Because of the self-appreciation that I am something different from it. So that's the reason why he says that bhasmatat, he says, edhamsi samiddha agni. If you're able to do this, destroy it, all the karmas, karma means that all possible sources of problems to me, gone. This is the fourth advantage of the jnana yajna. Om asato ma satkamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityor ma amritam gamaya. Om purnamadav purnamidam purnat purnamadachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnameva vashishyate. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Sorry, I didn't leave much time for questions, but yes, please.
I just want to make a comment here.
Yeah.
Gita is telling us that we should follow dharma and do the righteous thing. So I think that's the most difficult thing to determine. Because you look around the world and look at ISIS, what they are doing, and when I look at my Muslim friends, why they're doing such a difference, and they're supposed to be following the same dharma.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at Trump and evangelists and our neighbor, and they are same religion, but they're doing different things. So
Yeah.
determining what's the right thing is, I think, the crux of life.
Yeah, it is. I agree with that totally. It is very difficult, no doubt. Not something easy. So, yeah. Yes.
You said that after doing this, the karma will be, they will disappear, or like that. But then you again, you are in the text, it says that our karmas, they do, they come with us in the next life, like with the karma and such. So how is that disappearing? That's kind of contradictory, isn't it?
So this is what we were studying, that if you continue to follow the teaching, it will take a little while for you to completely to get it. So the art, so ourself, our reality of who we are untouched by the anatma. Karma means anatma. It's untouched by it. But we don't understand how the untouching is, because the two of them are merged together. Atma and anatma are merged together. So this is what the viveka, the tattva viveka has to be done. So the reason that it will disappear is that through the viveka, then I am no longer associated with anatma. So very much like waking up from a dream in that sense. So that's how you find that the karmas are destroyed. Destroyed in the sense that as the example I gave about the murder that I might have created in the dream, and the fact that there is some karma phala, I'm being hanged, I admit to it, and I'm sorry about it, but what can I do? All of those kinds of things is completely destroyed because you falsify the very premise of the karma by waking up from the dream. That's the very process of it, but we need to understand how is that possible.
Well, just sorry, but I kind of listen to what you're saying, and I don't know whether I get it, but look at the Trump again. It seems like his actions are really crazy, but he doesn't think they're crazy. So it's kind of like, is that if I do whatever, like, crazy thing, something, socially illegal, and yet I think that these are my actions and it's not me, it's like two different things, kind of like our president. So how?
No, I don't see it. I don't know. I don't see the relevance of what we are talking with respect. So we need to discuss it more on that. That's just within the structure of the vyavahara, of the transactions. There could be actions and effects of it and so on. And we're talking about something totally different, which is falsifying the whole thing. So anyway, I don't see the relationship between the example of Trump and what we are saying, because the example of Trump is within the samsara, and what we are trying to see is how do we falsify the samsara. That's how it will be. Any other questions? I know, that's, whatever happens, happens. Ishvara will take care of him, and if we deserve him for another 4 years, so be it. It's okay. But at least the only way I can do that is that I don't listen to him. As soon as he comes on TV, I don't watch much TV anyway. But, let him do whatever he wants to.
No, the reason I asked, because I read somewhere that he had a teacher that probably, some kind of satanic teacher, or, one of those